The top 16 youth-owned brands awards are back for a third consecutive year, and they've announced their top 72 nominated brands for the 2024 award ceremony. This year, the reach expanded across the African continent. Organisers say that the awards aim to inspire and encourage young people to pursue entrepreneurship and the support of small business. The founder of Youth-Owned Brand Awards, Pat Mahlangu, and one of the award nominees, Sandile Hopola, are joining us in studio. He is the owner of SK Rugs. And Pat, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Very well, thanks for yourself.
Why top 16? Why the number 16? What's the significance there?
Today is June 16.
No. Yeah. Is that it?
Yes, that's where it all started.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the whole genesis of the Youth-Owned Brands Awards is that, the youth of 1976, 76 rather, fought a political fight.
Yeah.
And the big question is, what is the youth of today fighting for? And I think the answer is pretty much obvious, that it's an economical one. Young people are fighting an economical fight. They're starting businesses. They want employment. They can't find employment. And we all know that the only way today for any young person to be economically active is if they start their own business. And that's the whole thing with the top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards. Yeah. Just to encourage the momentum of young people.
And when you speak to sponsors of the awards, do they get it? Initially, when you knock on the door and you're like, hey, listen, I have this idea that I've had, and this year it's our third year of running the top 16 awards, the top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards. Yeah. Do you find that some sponsors struggle to understand what the big idea is behind what you're trying to do?
Very interesting question around sponsors. And the thing is, initially when you start, everybody's excited. You go to any company, you go to any organization, youth, right? But when it comes to tangible support, then that's where now, things start to get a bit tricky. So the support that we get, and I always say, whoever supports us and buys into the Yobas, does so because they believe in the idea and they believe on where it's going. It's more than just an awards show. The awards is just a culmination, of us celebrating youth-owned brands. But there's other things that we do. We do workshops, we do road shows to encourage more and more young people to establish and run businesses, to turn their businesses into household brands, because there's a difference between a business and a brand. Business, we're just selling water, it's transactional day to day. But when you start building a brand, it's more long term, which is a major challenge. You all know that statistically, I think 9 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 3 years, and some of the challenges because they don't market themselves well, they don't brand themselves well, they don't show up very well. And the whole thing around the top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards is to get more young people to build brands that will build this country.
Then what should the conversation then be with the institutions that are already well established, the ones that you actually do seek their participation in an initiative of this magnitude? Because, for instance, if you started in South Africa and now you're looking at the entire continent, it means that there are more issues that are also coming in and more nuances that are also required in the approach of the business that you're currently running, but also, again, the support. Because we know with the legacy organizations, for instance, they have the experience and they have the network and they have the supply chain that they've already established. Yeah. How do we plug young people in to build those type of brands?
I think more than anything, what needs to fundamentally change is how we look at our young people. I had an interesting conversation on Friday with one of the nominees in Rwanda. And I asked him a question that, what is your one wish for Africa as a continent? And his answer was just simple. He said, I wish we were more confident in ourselves. So once people are more confident in the youth and what the youth can achieve, then it will be a no-brainer to get sponsorship. It will be a no-brainer to garner support because they get it. So the challenge that we are having, I think, particularly in a South African context, is that in as much as we preach youth, let's support the youth, but very few people believe in the youth. So if you look at the more developed countries, if you look at America, for example, where almost if you can come up with any idea, no matter how work it is, it'll get money, it'll get support. Because
the tech giants, for instance.
Absolutely.
Look at the tech giants. They were started by young people.
Absolutely. Look at Meta, Facebook. You look at even Apple. Steve Jobs was young.
Yeah.
Look at Microsoft with Bill Gates. Bill Gates was young. If you look at in South Africa, for example, Discovery, which was started by Aldrin Sampear, who was 28 at the time. You know what I mean? You look at Nando's, Robbie Brosen was 28 when he started Nando's, and today those are big multinational brands. Those have now even become case studies, you know, when it comes to marketing and how to build a global brand.
Yeah.
So the only thing that my appeal is that people must just believe in young people, you know. And you know, I always make this example that we all know that the future of energy is in the renewables, it's in solar, and what do sensible companies do? They put in money in those sectors, in those industries. In South Africa, we say the future is young people. Young people are the future, but we're not investing in them.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the challenge is.